Star Trek has a brand new multiverse problem. Star Trek Lower Deck Season 5 sees the USS Cerritos facing a major multiverse problem that could have far-reaching consequences. Star Trek became a multiverse when the iconic Star Trek, the original series Season 2 episode, Mirror, introduced the Mirror Universe. Several Star Trek shows have revisited the Mirror Universe, but the franchise has also offered glimpses into other alternate realities. In 2009, J.J. Abrams' Star Trek reboot introduced the Kelvin timeline, with alternate versions of Captain James T. Kirk Chris Pine and his USS Enterprise crew. From Star Trek, Strange New Worlds to Star Trek, Prodigy, modern Trek has continued to explore the multiverse in several unique and fun ways. Star Trek Lower Deck Season 5 is taking on the multiverse as part of its final season-long arc on Paramount+. In Star Trek Lower Deck Season 5, Episode 1, The Cerritos, the USS Cerritos was sucked into a quantum fissure and encountered an alternate reality version of the California-class starship. The crews of the two Cerritos worked together to get the Prime Universe's starship back home, but the dimensional rift itself appears to be part of a much larger problem. Star Trek Lower Decks' final story is a multiverse problem. When the USS Cerritos encountered the parallel universe in the Star Trek Lower Decks Season 5 premiere, LT, Beckett Mariner Tawny Newsome remarks that it is the third quantum fissure they have encountered that month. LT Tlin Gabriel Ruiz notes that these interdimensional rifts have been appearing with statistically abnormal regularity. In Star Trek Lower Decks Season 5, Episode 4, A Farewell to Farms, Mariner and LT, Brad Boimler Jack Quaid travel to Klingon space to investigate another dimensional hole. Upon scanning the rift, Mariner realizes that these space-time potholes are not naturally occurring. Someone or something is creating these interdimensional portals, although the hows and whys of it all remain unknown. It would likely require a great deal of power to open this many rifts in subspace, and each one increases the danger of something from a parallel universe finding its way into Star Trek's prime timeline. This has the potential to cause even more complications and chaos than it already has, which will presumably lead to an action-packed Star Trek Lower Decks finale that will answer any lingering questions. For a franchise that boldly goes where no one has gone before, Star Trek has found itself navigating some very familiar territory lately, the multiverse. What once felt like an occasional sci-fi storytelling tool, think the Mirror Universe or alternate timelines, has now exploded into something much bigger. Thanks to recent shows like Star Trek, Discovery, Picard, Strange New Worlds, and the upcoming Section 31 movie, Star Trek has quietly drifted into the same multiverse tangle that complicates the likes of Marvel and DC. And this time, it might be a problem. The root of the issue isn't just that Star Trek has multiple universes. That's nothing new. The Kelvin timeline movies already carved out an alternate reality in 2009, and Mirror Universe episodes date back to the original series. What's new is the sheer number of alternate realities now being introduced or hinted at, without clear boundaries or consistent internal logic. Take Star Trek Discovery, for example. Its jump to the 32nd century separated it from traditional canon, and while it tries to play by its own rules, it still references familiar lore in confusing ways. Then Picard Season 2 brought in the concept of Q altering time, resulting in a fascist version of Starfleet. That arc was resolved, sort of, but it left behind messy implications about whether those alternate futures are still out there and who remembers them. Now, Strange New Worlds has gone full throttle with time travel, alternate futures, and what-if episodes, such as the fantasy-style Subspace Rhapsody and the crossover with Lower Decks. Add in Section 31's covert missions across timelines as implied, and suddenly continuity feels like a choose-your-own adventure. Unlike Marvel, Star Trek wasn't designed for this kind of narrative sprawl. Its storytelling traditionally emphasized consequence, cause and effect, and linear character development. Kirk made a choice. Picard lived with the outcome. Now, when characters can jump timelines or reality-hopping villains like Q can bend the rules, those choices risk feeling meaningless. If every possible outcome exists somewhere, then what makes this reality matter?